Well, here we are at Pondwood Fishery by Maidenhead. And today I'm absolutely buzzing because when I set out to do this challenge of catching 35 species of fish in a year, there was a couple on that list that I thought, oh, I can't wait for that day, and this was one of those days. The target today is catfish, and I've seen multiple videos online of people coming to this lake and catching some really nice fish. It's mad because the fish in here, I mean, it's a very deep pool, but the fish in here go from £1 to £50. So apparently there's a £50 cat in here somewhere, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I've never caught a catfish in my life. I'm with Jordan as well. He's never caught a catfish before, so it's the first time for both of us. I've got a dead bait out on one rod set up already. I'm just setting up my second rod. I'm going to put some pellet on that because there's also some carp in here. Now, the catfish have eaten all of the relatively small carp. So there are carp in here, but they're all about 20, 30 pound. Although I don't think there's many. But it's going to be interesting. Carp and catfish. The target is catfish. I can't wait. Come on. Yes, it's there. Well, I casted out the sausage. And it's under that tree over there. And the bite went, but it sort of stopped. So I think the catfish picked up the sausage and then tried to dig into the barrier, into the undergrowth.
Hungry cat for a sausage, eh?
Loved a bit of Frankfurt. £12 line I got on this one. Don't think he feels that big, but I don't know. A cat's a cat. Well, here he is, the first catfish I've ever caught. Oh crikey! In the tackle bag, the big bag. Should be. Super, super slimy. I can't hold it. There he is. The Wells catfish. And they've got, look at these barbels at the front. If I hold him up, I can show you.
Then move the camera closer.
Look at these barbels at the front. Tiny little eyes. And the barbels to feed out, find out where the bait is. That's how they pick up a hook. That's great. Thank you, Mr. Catfish. There he goes. Oh, dear, he's stepping on our line. Happy days. £10.10. Now we're going to weigh this. Just soaked it in water now. It's going to be a little bit out because obviously the weight of this is now
3.8.
3.8.
So 10.10 minus 3.8.
Yeah, but it's hard to work out.
£7 maybe. £7 for that. Take that.
10.10, 3.8. Yeah, 7.2.
7.2.
Well, something like that.
So thereabouts.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. 7.
First cat anyway.
You want a bit of sausage? Yes. Well, now we can safely say that's catfish ticked off the list on the fish chase. Ah, that's awesome. I love it. Surprisingly, actually, I thought the dead bait was going to kick off a lot sooner than that. That sausage. But yeah, let's get another one back on, get it straight back out, and hopefully we catch another one. Well, I don't know how deep this lake is, but it just drops off. It's like a beach here, and it just drops right off. I mean, if you go over the edge, it just looks like it just goes straight down. But I guess if it's got big old fish in it, it is pretty deep. Because it's not the biggest, I mean, it's quite a narrow lake. You've got the Red Bridge. But yeah, like I say, it's got plenty of swims on it, Christ. A few people have just turned up over there. But we've been fishing for probably about an hour now. We've just had that one fish. But they've got several lakes here at Pondwood. They've got like a snake lake, which I think is like for match fishermen, pole anglers and feeder fishermen. Then they've got a lake, I don't know what that lake is. I think it's got carp and I think it might have some other species in it as well. Roach, rudd, bream. But this is the lake where all the catfish are, so. Oh, I'm still so happy about that one I caught. Come on. Well, we're hooked up again. Yeah. This one is on the dead bait. I've got a coat on, a hat on now. It's a bit cold. But that's quality, one on each bait. There we go, second catfish of the session. This is one's much bigger. I can't lift it up. Got it? Yeah. Oh, this one's much bigger. Right, got the scales there, buds. 19.3. Yeah. £19.3. And there she goes. Come on! Well, that one weighed in at 16 pounds. That's the biggest fish I've ever caught, like any species. And that was on the smelt head. So I've now had one on the sausage and one on the smelt head. And I've got some interest on the sausage again. If this goes off again, that'd be mental. So here's the bait I'm using. I've got bread for later for carp, but on one of them, I'm about that much sausage, probably about that much is how much I'm using. And then I've got smelt, dead bait smelt. So I'm cutting them in half, and then I caught that one on the head, but I've just put a tail on now. So I'm getting two, for each smelt, there's 2 bits of bait out of that. And then obviously the sausage I'm just cutting up and using, like I say, about that much. But I'm just fishing. I mean, the guy said when I spoke to him on the phone, I haven't seen anyone yet, but he said fish right up against the tree or up against the banks because they like to dig in. So that's where I've got the sausage out, is towards that bank over there by that tree. And then the dead bait is just out. There's a, I don't know if you can see the reeds coming out where that moorhen is. I'm just fishing around that basically with a smelt head. Great sport. Well, I'm up in the game now on my little fishing videos. Look at this. We got a brand new stove, which I'm going to use for the first time. Got a little frying pan, a little flipper. Got some little fry light. Butter flavour, 1 calorie, you know. And look at these. Tesco finest. Not sponsored. Breakfast pork patties. We're going to have some cheese. I got some buns for them to go in. Oh. Well, you can't grumble at this. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, how's this for a bit of camp cooking on the lake? We got a McDonald's sausage. Well, it's not quite McDonald's. It's probably better. Tesco and Aaron. Tesco and South Coast Angler. Sausage and cheese. Roll. Oh, how is it? Nice?
Yeah, good gear.
Good gear. I've just lost one on the left hand rod. I say lost one, it was ripping off, and I've picked it up and struck into it. There's nothing there, so I think it just grabbed, that's on the smelt, so it must have grabbed the smelt where the other side of where the hook was, and obviously just pulled it off the hook. So it got lucky, it got away, it escaped. But the bites have been a bit, it's gone quiet for the last couple of hours, but it's just started to pick back up again. So Jordan's just moved on to a dead bait and sausage as well, because he has been fishing other baits. There's carp in it, so he sort of wanted one rod out for carp and one for catfish, but I think he's more wanting to catch catfish now, so he's putting them both out for catfish. I'm really hoping he can get one. Nobody else has caught anything. I think I'm in the right spot. You know, people say 13 is unlucky for some. Might just be my new lucky number. Well, I must say it has gone bloody quiet. Getting a little bit chilly as well, you know. Still nothing. Jordan's had a couple of knocks on his pellet. I've switched over now. I'm fishing one dead bait for the cats, and I've got a boilie on the other for the carp. I just wanted, like, I've seen, since we've been here, I've seen a couple of carp jump, and they look decent size. As I said that, I swear one just jumped over there. But yeah, you know, I'm happy with the catfish now. Like, obviously I still want to catch more catfish, but like, I'm happy that I caught that one, the bigger one. So as I say, that was on my list that's been ticked off. So it'd be nice to catch a carp as well. Well, the smelt's off again. Dead bait's off and Jordan's in. Come on, Geordie. I've let him have this one. Make sure it's hooked properly. Don't give it too much if it ain't hooked properly. It's on £20 line, but just be careful. You watch this be bigger than the one I had. It's great sport. It's great sport. And do you know what, actually? I've just put on the bloody sausages, haven't I? Because it went quiet, Jordan was like, oh, let's whip up the sausages. So they're on the go. And just as we was cooking them up, the old rod's gone off and he's whipped into it. To be fair, actually, I let the bail arm off and Jordan walked around the bank and put the dead bait right in under that tree where I wanted it. So he put the bait in there. So I said to him, if it goes off, obviously I've caught two. So I said, you can have a go. So it's definitely a cat. I think it's quite a big one. Could be the biggest one of the day, you know. It's really pulling. Look at the bending. I've never seen those rods bend that much. Don't think we've made much ground on it, have we? Oh no. Yeah, it's halfway in, halfway in. So here it is, biggest one of the day. Look at the eyes on it. They're like human-like eyes. And these little feelers are how it finds the bait. And the teeth are like, they're sandpaper teeth, but the mouths on them are huge. Look at that. Jordan's going to hold it up for a photo, and then we're going to weigh her. I think it's the biggest one of the day. It was caught on my setup, on my bait, but I let Jordan have it. He brought it in, so it's his fish. But it is definitely the biggest one of the day. I'll give you a hand one sec. Right, he was taking the mick out of me, trying to hold them up, so we're going to watch him do it now. There we go. I'll tell you what, that's not bad. That's not bad. Look at the camera, much. Look at the mouths on them. Lovely. Keep it low to the ground, that's it. Hold the tail a bit more if you can. Look at that.
19.7-ish.
Yeah, about 19.8. Hold her there, get her breath back. Oh, she's kicking already. Crikey. Splash the water for good luck. There it is. Well done, buds. Shake that off a little bit, we'll weigh that. There we go, both have one now. We did say, actually, whoever catches the biggest fish, the other person will pay for their next day trip when we go fishing. But I can't let him, I'm not paying for the next one if he's caught that on my gear, in my swim, on my bait. That's another thing, you didn't even bring smelt with you today. See what I mean? So we've just spoken to the bailiff. Oh, by the way, I've got a carp rod on my left side, which has gone off a couple of times. Could also be a cat. Yeah, look, here we go, it goes again. That's a cat bite. I was going to say, we're speaking to the bailiff, and he said these bites do this. He said you'll get a beep beep, because the catfish will pick up the bait and it'll feel the weight of the hook and it will spit it back out before you've even got a chance to strike. He said they're very clever. They take the bait and then they feel the weight, and he said you've got to use short hairs so that when they spit it back out, they don't have a chance of, obviously, the tighter the bait is to the hair, the more chance you've got of getting that hook in the side of its mouth. Which makes sense, because we have had a lot of bites where it's been like beep beep, and then you're like, do I strike, do I not? And it drops it. So that does make sense, to be fair. But he said dead baits were very good, which is proven, because we've had all our fish on smelt, apart from that one we had on sausage. So yeah, boilie on the left, more dead smelt on the right. There's still more fish to catch here. There we go, look. He's picked the bait up. He's dropped it again. What are you saying?
Your mum.
Here it is, number 4. Look at the mouths on them. Absolute monsters. I'm not going to weigh this one. It's probably 4 or 5 pound. I think it's the smallest one of the day. But it took another dead bait. There's another fish. Well, we're starting to lose light now, which apparently is the time to fish for catfish. Oh, right on cue. I was going to say, we've had four on the bank. No carp. Throwing some bread out. Got a few fish attacking it, but nothing. Ooh. Yeah. Hi. Are you filming me?
How'd you turn it round?
Turn it sideways, is it?
Yeah, it's still me.
Huh?
It's still me.
Oh, yeah, you have to stop it and film again.
Hi.
I don't think this one's... I was like sat there going, oh, it'd be nice to catch another one.
Oh.
This was on the long hair that made it.
Lol.
Oh, mate, I've got weeds all wrapped up around the line. So I would shake it off, but I don't want to lose the fish. He's put it around his head now. The sausage hanging out of his mouth. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one wanted to be on video. Clearly, he didn't want his photo taken. How nuts was that? I literally said it'd be nice to catch 1 or 2 more, and then bang! It went off. Jordan's just moved, which I think is very wise. For the last sort of hour and a half or so. Come on. Well, they are waking up. Jordan's just had a run. Didn't follow through with it, did it? And whilst that was happening, helicopter beeps over there. Look at that hut you can stay in, by the way. I don't know how much it is, but there's a couple of beds in there. If you don't want to bring your bivvy down, because you can fish tonight here, but obviously if you don't want to bring your bivvy down, you can pay extra, I guess, to stay in there. They got a cafe on site as well. But, yeah, I can imagine when it goes off here, it's mental. There's something like 197 catfish were caught in a 24-hour period or something by somebody. It's a record. That's pretty mad. Well, there we go. Pondwood Fisheries. That is done for the day. Jordan and I were talking. I think we might make this like an annual thing, like a yearly thing. It's been pretty good. Obviously, not as good for Jordan, which is a little bit upsetting. I'm a little bit gutted about it, really, because I wanted us to both come here and both do really well. But that wasn't the case. Obviously, that didn't happen. But we did catch a couple of nice catfish. It's catfish ticked off the list for the fish chase. What more could you want? Okay, yeah, it would have been nice to have had a nice couple of catfish each, but you can't have everything. And we're coming back, so there's more to come from this lake, but catfish off the list. Happy days, guys. Please, if you did enjoy this film, leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you want to see me catch more fish around the country. It feels so good to tick another one off. Happy days. Come on.